versus Wings. Gentlemen, I am back with Draskell Black and Merlini. Merlini, you were very ambitious that you wanted Techies to pull the win. Wings couldn't do it with Pudge Techies. I imagine they're not going to be looking to do it again.
Shadow Demon is actually pretty good versus both of them. I think it could definitely work, but not that time.
I mean, we spoke about it, you know.
Yeah, you can call out LD.
Yeah, you know, LD said it's really easy to hook someone out when you get disrupted. That's like super hard. Because you have to like the right angle.
You go try it and see how it
You
goes.
can tell that he's never played Pudge.
I think in our heart of hearts we wanted Wings to win that game, but it was really tough.
I mean, I thought the Pudge was fine, but the Techies was a bit over the line.
Yes.
Like, a little bit.
So we're expecting possibly Wings to go into what they would consider maybe serious mode now. So I'm anxious to see what kind of drafts they're going to be pulling out. We can start already as we're into game number 3. DC have opened up with an Oracle grab. This comes after banning out that Mirana and Wisp. Wings decide to get rid of, well, the same bans they've been getting rid of. They X-Nay on the Elder Titan and also get rid of the Beastmaster.
Yeah, and Wings found a lot of success recently with Draw Ranger as well. So they might go that direction.
I think DC might lead with Alp though, if they don't deal with it. They first banned it last game. They paired it with the Oracle first last game, and they don't actually have the Mirana to deal with it.
Yeah, and then the first game they were ahead as well. Like DC was ahead. Yeah, were in like a winning position.
I think they gladly take that draft again.
Yeah, I think so too. Because they know if they don't make the mistakes in the late game, they will actually just close it out.
The Wings, are they gonna pick up Alp themselves? I mean, they're gonna pick AA first phase?
They might.
Are they gonna draw?
Yeah,
Timbersaw.
Wow, great call, Black. Timbersaw is actually the first pick.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
1 for 1 so far. 1 for 1. It's interesting though, because it's like we mentioned in the previous game, you never really know what approach Wings are taking.
Yeah, this was like this third opening with completely different heroes.
Yeah.
It's hard to gauge. Timber doesn't really offer a whole lot as far as game plan goes, plus they're very flexible with the hero in itself. But they're not afraid to kind of show their game plan right off the bat. They've been a team to pick up that draw in the first phase, so I wouldn't say they're too transparent, but there is going to be a Rubik, a second pick Rubik at that.
Showing a whole lot.
Isn't this the second time they've picked Rubik in response to Oracle? Do you think they put any weight towards that hero just versus Oracle in general? Because all the spells are actually pretty decent to steal.
Yeah, but it's pretty hard to steal like the spell you wanna have, which is the old like Purifying Flames is fine. Not as good if you don't have the Purge of Oracle as well.
I think it's just nice having that, because you know Rubik is obviously not known for being a hero who does substantial amounts of damage during the early game. Just having the guaranteed steal of Purifying Flames, it's just nice to be able to come in and just throw in the extra 360 damage.
I go for a Bad Rider.
Wings Gaming's
We'll make
turn
up
to
that.
ban.
I'm surprised that they
Bad
didn't go for
Rider.
Alp.
Yeah, me too. Like first game.
Yeah.
But maybe they're a bit scared of the Timber versus Alch matchup, which is pretty good for the Timber. But even so, like Alchemist still kind of free farms on that matchup, and you can like take the jungle stacks.
I think it's more just because they know they can, like, for instance, DC can just ban Nyx or whatever in the second phase. It's just an easy position to pick it in because you know you've already protected the hero. Rubik's the only thing that Wings have right now that's like, okay, I can potentially get lifted, but that's it. You know, the rest of my initiation's not really going to be hindered that much.
And you would think that a Rubik bench pairing is just not good to have as a duo support.
I mean, it can work, but I think it's very reliant on having strong independent laners. Like, usually heroes that don't really need much outside assistance.
Yeah, and on top of that, those two support heroes, they don't offer a lot of like burst damage. They need like to like over a longer duration how they deal damage. Like Shadow Demon needs to get out like 4 or 5 stacks on. Rubik has like a nuke every 12 seconds. It's like not a lot of burst damage.
DC's
He said Venge, not SD. He said, we was talking about Venge, right?
Yeah, we're
not Shadow Demon.
Oh, Venge?
Yeah.
Where did they get this D from?
I don't know, Black.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Put that drink down. Let's get back in the draft right now.
Alright.
They get rid of the draw though in the second phase. Wings does here.
10
So.
seconds remaining.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. I think, you know, with DC have, it's obviously 2 ranged heroes. You can pick up Dro very easily, even though Wings themselves have the first pick out of this phase. Maybe, again, just going for a different approach. Keep the enemy team guessing. You know, don't give them any real insight into what you're going to be doing. Seems to work for them.
Yeah. They do ban out the Nyx.
Wings Gaming's
Obviously a
turn to
very,
ban.
very strong Bad Rider counter.
Now, I feel like I'm a broken record with this gentleman, but DC do have an Oracle out there. Huskar, do we got to ban it if you're Wings?
I think you...
Because eventually, these teams ignore him, and then he creeps in to a draft, and a third game, the next thing you got cheesed out to the lower bracket.
I mean, I think you have to ignore him. I mean,
think you have to ignore him.
I think you ignore him because Timbersaw can, if you avoid the lane matchup, Timbersaw is actually, for me personally, like a really hard counter to Huskar. I don't think it's a problem because they can still put him on any 3 positions, or 4 positions, so I don't think you need to ban on Huskar.
DC also largely ignored Huskar during the group phase.
Yeah.
They didn't pick it up very early nor very often. They way more tended towards like Luna, Huskar, Ursa as their position 1s, Morphling too.
No, that makes sense. I don't really recall ever having to put Resolution's name like on top of a Huskar at all. It doesn't seem like his kind of hero whatsoever. So that does make sense. But
He wants to be like in your face, but not with Huskar. Like he's a lot of in your face heroes, but Huskar's definitely not one of them.
He's a dirty Slark player.
Turn to ban.
Dark Plague.
Yep.
I would really like to see Ursa here. Really good against Timbersaw. Pretty good against Rubik too. Of course he can lift you up, but you know, he doesn't really burst you or kite you very well. And Timbersaw definitely cannot go to the offlane if you have an Ursa there.
Not like that, but like the synergy between Bat and Ursa is really nice. You know, it's like when
5
people were picking
seconds
Sven Bat,
remaining.
you want one hero to pull somebody in for you to just be able to freely hit, and obviously they don't have a save
Reserve
at the moment,
time.
so. I wonder if they just continually protect the Bat and just take out like the bench. Take out. I don't know if they ban SD, but
Possible.
I mean it just depends on how heavily their game plan depends on Bat Rider being able to freely get lassos.
What we also haven't seen a whole lot in TI in general was a really popular before is Disruptor. Disruptor is like semi-decent against Bad Rider. Of course not the best hero, but like one of the better counters that you still have in the pool.
yeah, he was pretty much the support hero of the Vanilla Major.
Yeah.
A lot of people found good use of him.
Gaming
And
is
with
turn
crowd
to
control.
pick.
The Cuddle Brewmaster lane was too strong to handle, so I'm gonna ban out that Cuddle.
Fair enough. That lane was pretty crazy.
They pick up Slark
DC's turn
themselves.
to pick.
Yeah.
Obviously very good against Bad Rider. You can't really make too much out of the game plan yet, because it's just like a pure counter pick. If you were DC, how would you approach it? I still think Ursa is really good against Slark too.
I want to try to lane against the Slark in some way.
10
Like I don't want to
seconds
give him a
remaining.
free lane in this game
Like go.
because I think
aggro.
like the Rubik Slark pairing is super
5
weak,
seconds
so you can
remaining.
punish that
That
like
is
crazy hard.
terrible. Yeah. Do you want to see like an aggro dual lane or even
Yeah.
buy lane maybe?
I would like to.
Reserve time.
I mean, I wouldn't even hate like okay, so
Like
this
those
is
two. Yeah.
this is good
Wings
pressure already.
Gaming's
Having the
turn to
Ricky
pick.
against Rubik is really a struggle for Rubik during the early game.
I think it's even a bigger problem for Slark and Timbersaw. The AoE silence is very painful for them to deal with. And you have no 4 staff builders in your cores.
On the landing stage as well, Sticky Napalm plus the
10
Cloud
seconds
plus the Orb of
remaining.
Venom on the Ricky. You go down to like 150 movement speed. You
5
cannot get away.
seconds remaining.
And if you can't fight them, you will simply just die. Because either you run and survive maybe,
Reserve time.
or you fight them and die.
So for Wings now, you see a Ricky on their side. It's our first Ricky at the main stage, by the way.
10
And what do you do to
seconds
prepare to
remaining.
going against that? Some teams are happy to go toe-to-toe with like their own version of a Ricky, in
5
that
seconds
sense, like a
remaining.
bounty hunter, or get a Jet.
DC's
It's an
turn
interesting
to pick.
response.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, not really your Sentry Ward candidate to kind of.
Sometimes you see people, you know, in biz heroes like Bounty and Riki, they don't want to play against stuff like a Spirit Breaker in the early game. They're just really strong heroes who can run at you and kind of just scout you out on the map. It's really frustrating.
10
But Chen is
seconds
usually
remaining.
seen. When Riki first started coming into the competitive scene, it was to counter junglers.
5
Yeah.
seconds
And now they're
remaining.
picking a jungler into it. And like once you get the creep, obviously you can make rotations. Maybe you can like dictate where the Riki goes based on your own
Reserve
pressure, and maybe
time.
that's the way they're looking at it. But it seems a little bit strange to me.
But Ricky is pretty much always gonna be like scouting you out. There's no
Yeah, that's
you can just,
the
like,
problem.
Do a smoke gang or
Like, how do you rotate with that hero in the game?
I'm not sure why they pick it. Maybe they have some good strategy for last pick. I don't know yet. We'll see what Wings does.
And the typical response is like an ogre,
Yeah.
I would say. Like
Yeah,
an
that's
You
ogre-
want to have like really strong dual lanes that can actually just like deal with the Ricky. Like if he can't go anywhere and kill, then you're fine because the hero's not gonna do anything. He won't farm in the jungle. He won't do anything.
DC snag up for the 4th pick, a Morphling. Resolution made, well, waves in the group stage with the Morphling pick and an incredible rat play there.
Yep.
Pick for DC here.
It's actually a really good pick against everything but
10
Rubik.
seconds
Rubik
remaining.
loves playing against Morphling.
Yeah.
Free,
It's like one of the most fun heroes.
free strength game.
Five
And every spell you
seconds
steal is
remaining.
so good.
You get adaptive when you have full strength morph. You get a free
DC's
insane
turn to
duration
bat.
stun. You get an escape. I would actually like to play Rubik if there wasn't a Ricky in this game.
And Ricky is like the Rubik's worst nightmare. You get an defusal up, you actually just get solo killed every time. Unless you steal strength morph and have 2000 health.
And then you have to buy like a casual buckler,
10
right?
seconds
Like puppies do.
remaining.
You just buy a buckler with that much.
You need armor, yeah, because you go actually down to like 0 armor.
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
But what's left out there DC could be wary of, but they want to be banning out there?
Reserve time.
Oh, like
We got our supports, we got what looks like potentially off lane. They feel like
this
this
lineup doesn't really strike me as like having a lot of synergy right now. They have like a bit of everything, but
Yeah.
like no real strategy yet.
I would like something else that hits buildings personally.
Yeah,
But
you need some push with Chen. Like Chen is gonna fall off minute like 25, 30. You approach a late game,
10
Chen is not gonna do that much.
seconds
yeah, the thing is for DC, their lineup still takes a little while. Like you're gonna need bat blink for sure, and you're gonna like the morphling needs time as well to really come online. So I think Wings wanted their last hero to at least be able
Reserve
to
time.
force some kind of issue. That's why I mentioned like hitting towers is really important. Like
DK, does he
mentioned.
fit that bill? DK Chen combo?
Fine, but they would put themselves like on
Wings
a
Gaming's
like, very
turn to
vulnerable
pick.
position, I think.
Poker though, last
It would be so hard for them to win the lanes, I feel.
I really like the Invoker here because he's gonna be very safe. Because the Riki is gonna scout out the support rotations, and one-on-one Invoker doesn't really fear
10
many heroes.
seconds
They're like
remaining.
very pickable right now. Maybe they could go for like a Tinker.
5
You
seconds
wanna go for something like that? You
remaining.
have to sandbag with Tinker. You can play like, really aggressively.
Reserve.
Oh,
there they go.
That's
Wings
another
gaming.
first. That's a first of TI. Wings are the team to do it again. Wow. All right, gentlemen. Centaur last pick. I know we just saw it and you have to try to take it in, but what do you think?
Ooh, I'm gonna say DC are gonna take game 3. I like their lineup a bit more.
I think I have to say DC too because the Riki just counters the Chen like movements.
I think the Centaur is actually a decent counter to Smoke Cloud if you don't have 4 stats. So I'm gonna go with Wings. There's a reason they picked it.
Could be a great disengage. We'll see if that's the case or not. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll go ahead and throw it over to the action gentleman right now. It's LD and Mott on the floor. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thanks, guys. And, well, LD, we talked about it in game number 1. Wings are known to beat themselves. Did they just beat themselves with a Centaur in this game?
I wouldn't give up on them just yet. This is not Pudge Techies. Centaur does have a place in this game. Ben mentioned Stampede is good against Smoke Cloud. Now, granted, Stampede is a much longer cooldown than Smoke Cloud, so I don't think it's a hard counter by any means. Also, generally where Riki excels is the early laning stage. He wins the lanes, and that's before Centaur really brings much to the table. But if anyone can pick yet another unpicked hero and make it work, I think it would be Wings. So I favor DC's draft, but I personally think Wings have overall looked like the stronger team. So I wouldn't count them entirely out just yet.
Well, we'll have to see how this develops. I mean, the Centaur pick is certainly interesting, and this
30
hero just
seconds
he
to
brings a
battle.
lot to the table. Like you mentioned, the Stampede, obviously, one of the better ultimates in the game, especially with an Aghanim Scepter, if they can get to that point, but there's a lot of damage coming through from DC. Late game potential as well. We hot on the Invoker once more. He's done it before. Do it again. Misery behind enemy lines for the time being, and he's just putting that ward down up on the high ground. Shout out that, of course, ancient stack anything up. But for now, contention over the top rune spot, LD. It looks like
The battle
DC thought about it,
begins.
but now they're backing away.
Misery does drop a sentry here, so he has blocked the spawn box now for that off-lane camp. Generally, we've seen more and more lately that the jungle players like to pressure their off-lane. As I say that, Misery is moving on towards mid. Wants to basically just follow Ice around here. Notice Ice already started with a smoke and a dust, as well as sentries. So this is the Riki hate parade. The Rubik and the right creeps, there is some kill potential, but this is a very elusive support nonetheless, and Misery gets the boots, will be much harder to kill. So for now, just blocking the spawn, being a little annoying bastard, and not a whole lot that Ice can do about it. This is, as Black was mentioning, generally why you don't see all too much jungle play versus Riki, especially not when you already know he's been picked.
It's not about just blocking the camps. It's also about stealing the experience, obviously, getting those last hits, being, like you said, pesky and annoying as hell for Ice. But down bottom, we'll keep eyes, of course, on Moo, on the Bat Rider, one of his favorite heroes. Currently sitting at one last hit. He starts with double Fairy Fire again that last game. Fairy Fire saved him a fair bit, and we'll see how it helps him this game. But this is a pretty interesting dual lane. It's going to be Slark and Rubik, so not sure how much kill potential is actually in this lane. It looks like they're going to make it go.
Oh, there is definitely some. It's only a level 1 Slark, but he does hit the pounce. Moo has the Fairy Fires. He may need to use them. No Firefly, though. He won't die, but I mean, Slark even 1v1 does okay against Bat Rider once he gets a couple of levels. And Rubik looking to secure his early game. Slark should have a good time, so it will be a relatively free farm Slark unless the Riki gets active. Speaking of it, he is now in the bottom lane. He blocked one more spawn camp on the Chen, then he moved away from that lane, and now they're looking to pressure the Rubik here.
Look at the innocence.
He's
Look at that
very
backstab
defenseless
damage.
against Riki.
Book and Dagger is doing some serious work against Innocence, who right now just no real way of dealing with that right-click damage.
Chen has made his way top. No dire vision yet, but they see the creep now. So a Centaur to help the Centaur. Team partnership here.
So, how active do you think both teams are going to be on the map? You talked about the Riki, obviously, and the Chen's moving up there, but look at that pounce away. Stop.
Top lane though, the Centaur duo finds Soxa, and it's first blood to Wings. The bros getting the job done. And now, Faith Beyond, he's already taken the point of return, has the Stout Shield, he'll be looking to pull the wave. They want the Morphling to have to see us under tower where they can look to dive him a bit. At least dragging the creeps away from it for now. But Morphling not the best deep pushing carry, so they may try to take this tier 1 early, and Soxa now back in the lane. We're gonna leave Misery to hold this bottom lane. Moo will go home for the time being. Overall, looks decent for Wings here early, to be honest, Mont. They're getting their levels, they get the first blood. Well, I should say their farm on the carries. Ice Ice slightly under level, but Riki not getting all that much. Now he's catching up bottom at the expense of the Bat Rider. The Chen isn't really being shut down. And generally, Riki will just mirror his movements. That was not the case. So he's able to find an opening. Normally, the Morphling Oracle shouldn't die unless the Oracle gets caught. And if he just sits behind Resolution, the Morphling's very difficult to burst. So more about limiting the Morphling's farm. If you kill the support, that's just a bonus.
Right now, the Morphling is pretty much tied with the Slark down bottom as well.
They're moving on bottom. They found Innocence.
They're going to try to go for the skill. Good telekinesis now.
Drag him in the tower, but Shadow misses the pounce.
Is going to just head back away. The Firefly to cut the creep wave. Who will take some harass. The Fade Bolt as well, doing some damage. He's got, I think, no regen on that Bat Rider. He's some tangos coming out in the Fairy Fire, but again, not doing the greatest, and just trying to slow this Slark down. It's not happening at this point in time.
Playing Rubik versus Riki is not fun. Even without the boots, just the Oov, if he gets a boots advantage, you literally cannot leave your tower, or you will just either TP out or die. You can see for now Innocence hugging that tower. He's going to eat a tango momentarily, I imagine. Just playing very defensively. So this is kind of that unspoken effect. Like Riki's not even there anymore. Misery securing the bottom bounty rune. He's roaming around a bit, but he's still effectively keeping pressure on the Rubik simply by being absent on the map.
Link's doing a great job mid against this Invoker. Weehaw. Quas Exhort once more, but again, December Saw with 22 assets down bottom. Looks like they're setting up to make a go here. The Slark might be in trouble. 2 sticky napalms, body block, smoke screen is going to go. Shadow will be able to walk out immediately.
That's a very difficult kill, even with the perfect cloud, until you have Lasso. The thing is, once they do, though, they might be able to kill him, but while they're still waiting for their levels, Faith Beyond and Ice Ice strike again. They once more kill off Soxa, who keeps on getting caught. They are not keeping tabs on Ice Ice.
Shadow was silenced up for a bit, but now out with the Dark Pack Sunstrike to go, and he just pounces around the side of it. He almost died there. That was so close.
Really nice play by Misery. Body blocking, but also trying to prevent the pounce out.
Mid lane.
Very patient play as well. And it's Ice Ice onto Weehaw. So much for Riki, gathering the movements of a Chen. He hasn't seen him in 4 minutes. Ice Ice just on a roll now. He even pops the celebratory smoke. Misery commits seppuku to the neutrals. Ashamed at his failure to shut down this early movement.
Wings are just moving well, so well right now. You can see it. They're shutting down Resolution, or at least trying to, at least keeping him hemmed under the tower at this point. They're not dying bottom. They're getting their farm for their Slark, and they're crushing into the mid lane as well.
And the lane he's pressuring is the Slark's lane. This is a difficult kill even with the +1, and they might be able to kill a Boo now.
Pounce is going to connect. They have the damage. The Fable will come through. Yes, the Slark took a lot, but still, they are able to find the pickup. No problems there.
Meanwhile, Faith Beyond, he's closing in on Stampede. This is where Waynes can start making some cool plays elsewhere. They can play more aggressively with the Timber Saw. They have a get out of jail free card against Misery's movements every minute and a half. This is going to open things up a bit. Centaur, where this hero generally struggles is, as far as offlaners go, he has a harder time getting his farm, but because the Chen's pressure was left unchecked, he's gotten it. As I say that...
Oh, he gets stomped by Centaur Conqueror. They get off the smoke screen as well. Stomp comes through, avoided by Resolution, the waveform, into the right-click damage. If they had stopped Resolution there, they might have been able to escape with a Stampede.
He could have just run away, but tries to go in with the double edge. Meanwhile, mid, though, if they kill Weehaw, it's okay.
Nice wall. There's going to be the Chakram, but still slowed down so much. They get off the pendant. It's not going to be enough. Soxa rotates in. Zen is ready to go, but look at Blink just going to town. Weehaw taking another Chakram. The Fate Edict will come out, though, and that'll stop Blink's aggression as he backs away.
Now bringing Misery in mid.
Dire's bottom tower is under
For
attack.
Stampede usage. Normally it's at least good to save a life. Mid lane though, Blink gonna get caught. Cold Snap, perfect placement on the Cloud, and Misery, will he strike again? He's very tanky, but they do get the kill. Wings giving up a couple now. No sentries to detect this Riki's movements, and Timbersaw playing pretty far up considering that he doesn't have a ward right now. Actually, no wards on the map for Wings whatsoever. Really need vision against Riki, and also just in general at this stage of the game. That's when supports generally look to move.
Radiant's middle
Misery
tower
wanted
is
to shut
under
down that
attack.
bottom lane. Obviously wasn't successful in doing so. Now he moves around the map, and now back to top lane as well. So Misery,
They know the Stampede's on
Mid-top.
cooldown, but I don't know if they can kill Centaur.
Radiant
not just
1140.
the two of them. They
is
need
under
another hero
attack.
here to be able to do the job, I think, like Sox what they had earlier. But seems like he will just back up and back away. Time being.
And good news for Wings, Ice has had a really strong start to the game. He's got Arcane Boots, he already has Headdress, so pretty fast mech timing likely in the making here.
Almost level 6 as well for the Chen.
I mean, in a game where it looked like Chen might have a very difficult time, he's had a great start. Core is still farming pretty well. There's a slight CS advantage for DC, but Wings are moving top. This time, though, Ice has been scouted. It's a dire Observer Ward. Mystery will just chill out and keep tabs on him for now.
Yeah, Ice was ready to go again, so might see some action in top lane, but for now, it looks like everybody's just trying to watch each other, see what they're doing. And again, this is going to mean that
They're going to pincer him with Resolution, moving in now.
smoke screen, Ice avoids it narrowly, but Death is up as well. Fortune's Dead coming out with Purifying Flames. They did net Resolution. Sunstrike, not enough. They still need to find more, and that's a great stop coming out. And taking down one Resolution. Telekinesis up as well as Innocence is rotated in. Resolution has to wait for him away, but look at Face
Double edge,
He's
they're
got
going to
it.
chase.
They missed the Chakram, he's still in trouble now. Strength Morphin coming through. The Fortune Dead's not enough, LD. He might be able to get out here. The Shockwave.
They still get him. One thing Centaur does give you is heavy spammable burst damage. The level 4 double edge, even against Morphling, even when he's fully strength morphed, he still can't make it out. And all the while, Shadow farming bottom lane. I'm not sure hero-wise that this matchup should be working as well as it is for Wings, but now that the Chen has started to get rolling, they can push towers, and the thing DC don't really have is much in the way of D-push. Their support duo offers essentially no D-push whatsoever. Morphling, if he waves in, lacks an escape mechanism. Quas Exort Invoker isn't very good at stalling pushes. He's better at split pushing. And Batrider is busy farming bottom, so Wings are looking to take a tower here. This is shaping up quite nicely, Mott. They now lead by 4,000 gold, 3,000 experience. See a kill attempt mid, perhaps momentarily as Misery moves in, but they got to get something going soon because the Chen Wrecking Ball is already coming into form.
As you mentioned, his mech. Very good timing. He's going to have it soon. He already has 2 components of it, mech as well, or excuse me, buckler as well as the headdress coming out. He just needs a couple more hundred for that recipe, and the top of the net worth is dominated by Wings. 3 of the top 4. Resolution needs a lot more time. Weehaw as well. They can come back into the game, especially if the Invoker gets that Midas. Misery still...
They can try and go on Blink. Weehaw wants to, but Misery was backing off. Not quite on the same page here, and they're not going to commit that far.
Not again. He's so much trouble. The Fate Edict will do nothing to keep him alive, and he will fall. The Fade Bolt has Moo comes in, gets stopped up, and is in trouble. Lasta will come through, but he's so low in HP. I don't think he can bring Face Beyond down, especially when there's that Hand of God.
Dukin, and now they look for Weehaw, pursuing the Invoker, chaining over him. Innocence, can he get in range? He zaps him from the high ground. The Sunstrike not gonna matter. Even Resolution coming to the fight, and he might die.
Resolution, Strength Morphing, not gonna be enough, and Face Beyond.
And they want Misery, they dusted him.
They have nothing left. Ice about to go down and will end up falling to Misery. Getting the double kill with Tricks of the Trade, that's a lot. Actually, Blake strikes away and he will survive.
How did Misery live through that 30 HP? It almost was a team wipe. He saves the day a bit. Still, Morphling comes to the fight. He's not farming. He then dies. Invoker dies, delays his Midas timing. Batrider dies, delaying his drums, which Moo is not even going Blink Dagger, so no early initiation for DC. If he just tries to run in and lasso, well, bottom lane is going to get caught out here. They could just stampede that hero away.
Shadow dance from Shadow, and he's going to try to chase him down, but Moo, again, not fast enough to go for Innocence or Shadow in that instance. His Tranquil Boots not done. He's just purchased them now. But still, again, like you said, they lost so much out of that last engagement. They died with just about every core hero. The only one that got gold, 1,600 for Misery. But how much is that actually going to help them? Sure, he could transition into a core, but at this point, it seems like Wings are dominating. They're going to just continue to roll with this mech that's coming soon already.
They're just going to 4 or 5 man behind the Chen mech. They have to find pickoffs to prevent it.
There's the lasso, no dark pack, Shadow in trouble. Now he's got the mech coming out, now the Stampede away as well. Good fortune then. Tricks of the trade going to work.
He stole lasso, he's going to drag in Misery. Hey, you little fucker. How you like me now, says why. Brings the Riki down.
That's why they picked the Riki. That is some impactful play coming out from the Riki and the support in general. Wings jumping, Blink Dagger, Saxa is next. Fade Bolt, double Shockwave, which is not even needed.
I mean, actually, Wayne's picked a Rubik, but from the way Y is playing, it feels like he might be a Riki in terms of his impact now. Almost level 8 at this stage of the game. DC, probably one of their best deep push spells after the Firefly is actually the Smoke Cloud, just for the mischance to generally discourage opponents from going in, but when he dies, Wings go for that next level of aggression. Now bringing Shadow Top, already has a Shadow Blade with towers down, bottom tower below half HP, the top tower fully caved in. This is where Slark can start to take over, and especially when he's got a Centaur to back him up. Speaking of Faith Beyond, now the Blink Dagger. Burst damage is pretty enormous.
DC, you look at Resolution, he just has a Ring of Health right now. Blink in the mid lane, he's getting stalked by Misery again, but I don't know if they have the damage in the Blink. Stun on the 2, Chakram, see you later, Weeha. He falls first, Misery trying to come in and go to work on Faith Beyond, but it looks like it might be unsuccessful, but Zaxa with Purifying Flames will do the damage.
Really nice tricks of the trade there, dodging from the Centaurs, round 2 of Nuke Barrage, but still Misery in danger. Slark slowly looking to join this fight, Ice Ice in too far, he's down, DC coming back.
They have the damage, they have the Purifying Flames, they need a little more. Good false promise. Resolution was so low from those shockwaves, and a third one. Did that hit is the question. And he will go down. Blink gets the kill.
That was without Shadow. If Shadow's there, I think Wings get 3-4 kills, but still, even with DC have a good fight mod, they lose both of their carries, the Morphleet and the Invoker. They are slipping precariously far behind in net worth, and this is a lineup that needs to be split pushing with how the game has gone. That beastly Resolution Morphling that was constantly finding pickoffs, spreading the map and slowing the game down. The Weeha Invoker, Quas Exort with the Midas that can take over. It's hard to do that when you're this far behind. And against the Slark with a Shadow Blade, a Centaur with a Blink, gap closing on Wings is extremely high, so going off on your own is a dangerous play, and that's why we see DC instead smoking up 4 heroes moving down towards bottom. This is more missed farm time if they don't find a kill.
They have to get kills here, and more than one, and hopefully more than just Innocence. And I say just Innocence, but he's had so much of an impact this game on this Rubik.
They do have sentries on Riki, that's it.
He stole Morph, he's got Strike Morph, Innocent, Stampede away. And now bringing him down is going to be...
They're going to look to turn this. Timbersaul's coming in, they get that first kill off, but now Shadow trying to turn the tails of the engagement, leaps out, gets away.
Oh, that Timbersault comes in. Tiberchain Chakram doing a lot of damage to both Zaxa as well as Resolution. They'll have to back up. Here comes the stop. On to 2. Moo in trouble. About to fall. Couch will come in. And now that's going to be a dead Bat Rider.
Blink is going ham. Weeha in the danger zone. He's going to die after the false promise. He lets the meatball go. Continuous nuke. Array after array going through while Blink chews up the backside. DC. They were somewhat gifted a game with the draft that Wings went for in game number 2, but Wings coming to play. Another unexpected pick, but this one with tons of thought behind it, having a huge impact. The Centaur has turned out to be pretty effective, but really the MVP has to be Ice Ice on the Chen. But he is 6-2 and 10 versus a Riki. He's been involved in 16 of 18 kills. He is taking towers, he is saving allies, he has shut down the enemy cores. He's doing it all right now.
See another situation where there's some trouble when it comes to the upper bracket. Might get dropped down to the lower bracket. A lot like Manila, of course. They need a lot more.
And this would be sweet revenge for Wings. Last time that these teams faced, they lost 2 best-of-3s in a row to DC.
Shadow looking to try to find that revenge, at least on Zaxa. He's going to get bounced up. Faith Edict, but well, that's too much damage regardless. Try to block, and he is going to fall again. Zaxa died 6 times this game, and now Wings are just taking over the enemy, just pretty much other side of the map. It's everything, including the jungle, their secret shop, everywhere it's being taken over right now.
Innocence has such a slow attack speed. 1.5 seconds per attack for the Rubik. Very tanky.
1300 HP. Again, they were talking about no real armor to work with.
Safety on bottom. He went in for a big play. It's going to be a big feed. Goes for the Blink Stomp. It whips, and then the Morphling turns it. Misery ambushing with the Cloud. Actually picked up a hood. Nice item to help encourage the 5-man and just keep heroes alive through the smoke cloud, but not end up working out here.
Misery talking again. They have the Firefly, but it's about to go down for Moo. He'll try to clear out the Creep Wave Shadow still. He has that Shadow Blade and also picking up what seems to be an Echo Saber coming soon with that Oblivion Staff. He'll purchase it and have that fly out. Now they're looking to go again. Meanwhile, top lane, clear the Creep Wave and forced Weehad to TP away as well. That Midas is going to have to kick in, and he'll have to stay alive to get that farm. Resolution, he's starting to catch up a little bit, but again, Shadow still very farmed at this point of the game.
But Morphling takes a long time to come online, especially when he doesn't really have the best heroes to enable him. Like, Oracle can help keep him alive. He doesn't have a Shadow Demon for the illusion spam, a Keeper of the Light to move around the map and allow him to push more freely. And oh my god, Maud, he just stole Smoke Screen. Blink Stomp into a Cloud is a devastating combo. DC now have to play extremely cautiously against this Rubik.
That's a pretty good spell to steal against Rubik, or excuse me, against Morphling, against just about everybody from DC, in fact.
And Lincolns will not protect you against this spell.
No.
Much like a Disruptor, a great way to deal with the Morphling, if you can manage to silence him.
Resolution, if he gets the Lincoln Spear, which he's getting close to, will have the ultimate aura, but again, then he won't. He's still a little bit of ways away from the recipe, so there's a gank top lane. There's no vision, and Resolution just gets out in time.
They're ganking towers now.
Yeah.
Wait and say, we're coming at you, DC. You know we're coming. Stop us if you dare. And I don't think DC dares. Their lineup really wants to find pickoffs right now. They do not want a team fight. They are push. They try to split push, but it's risky against the lineup, as we already talked about. And out with the Boots of Travel and Timbersaw, another tool for Wings to keep the lanes pushed out against them. Can't split push, and you have the worst 5-man. You're pretty much banking on an opponent to make mistakes.
Go on the Patreon. Stampede used a little early, but here comes Shadow. Looking for Misery. They have protection. Tricks the trade. Coming out a little early now. They reset the fight.
Cloud has been used prematurely, and Misery drops with ease. Wings, death balling forward. Where's that D push? Firefly laid down, but with the hoods already picked up, Wings are going to shrug it off. They also have the heal aura from the Satyr Tormentors. Chen Hand of God mech available. It's up to Weeha to stall this thing, but DC do manage to hold the high ground for now. So that's the one hero who can clear the wave.
Now Resolution moving across the map. He'll try to split push. He's up to 1,700 gold. Courier looks like he does have that Lincoln Spear recipe as well, but Wings will try to check off the next thing on their list. Maybe going for Rocher momentarily, or just backing up and farming. One of the two.
I really like the way Wings are itemizing now. The Force Staff for Ice Ice. This is great counter to the Smoke Cloud. Whether it's to save a carry, save yourself. And Wings are very stealth reliant. Like Slark getting off his ultimate is extremely important until he has a BKB. Top lane, Blink, he's going ham on Resolution.
This strike does replicate out. He does have a TP scroll as well if need be, but and narrowly dodging that gank, and it just shows you that he doesn't have much room to work with. This is exactly what you were talking about. They're just scared to move across the map and split push. They have to find kills, but it seems to almost be an impossibility at this point.
To be honest, it looks like he wants the Aghanim Scepter for Centaur.
Yeah.
Damage reduction is super game-changing if you use the spell correctly, especially versus Morphling. Generally, Morphling players nowadays go for shotgun. They try to burst someone down, but if you stampede mid-shotgun, that hero isn't going to take damage, and you're already super tanky. Blink, not only as a hood, actually as a completed pipe now, with a Bloodstone, he becomes almost unkillable, Mod.
Blink does walk around the Sentry Ward. They do know that he's there. They need more detection. They'll find it. They'll jump in. Blink Lasso might beat himself away here. He does have the Bloodstone denied, and he gets off. Smoke Screen comes through. Hand of God as well. Still healing up. Timber Chain away, and there's going to be the suicide finally done.
It took everything. 4 heroes. He just Bloodstone denies anyway. Still a very nice pick, but DC showing that many top. Wings gonna look for Roshan.
Valiant is up. That's Innocence, and of course with Shadow, got plenty of damage here. To be honest, Widow helping out. I don't know. I mean, DC, I don't think are even thinking about contesting this. They have to deal with Blink, who is already respawned, 14-second respawn timer.
They have no lasso. Even with lasso, I'm not sure they would go into the whole wing 5. Like, that's a 4v1 gank. That's what they're going for. 5v5, they're going to be very hesitant, only going to fight if they have to on the high ground.
Arch has been tough to deal with once, twice. Well,
Good luck.
It's gonna be even harder. Man, and Blink, he doesn't care that he just had to suicide. He's completely fine with pressuring, and he seems to be the only one up here. And now that he joins his team, even more dangerous. Like you said, building that Aghanim Scepter Faith Beyond gets another component. They could wait until that finishes, or they continue to try to pressure, try to find kills. Misery as well as Resolution top lane. My target as Blink is TP'd in.
The other thing they probably want to wait for, if they can, is the Chen Aghanim Scepter or a Vlad's. Just something additional to help sustain the push, give them a little more survivability. I think the Ags is the better choice. Having plus HP from the Golem is more useful against what's primarily magic damage, but Wings moving in. Are they going to see Misery here? He comes to Cloudy, retreats away, but they stampede forward. They want Resolution, jumping on it with the Slark. Stop, and he's likely dead. Now back. Innocence using his own adaptive strike against him. It's actually the long duration stun here, as he's got a lot of strength. This is extremely irritating now for Morphling.
Again, the only way DC get back into this game is he can find farm. He finally has a Blanket Spear, but he needs a lot more than that. So him being down for 40 seconds where he's not farming the map is still absolutely critical for Wings to take advantage of as well.
All right, they're going to go high ground now. Pipe is ready to go. Or if not go high ground, they're definitely going to chip and hold these lanes in, but pretty big window here. The age is still 3.5 minutes. Shadow 3,800 gold banks. Centaur closing in on the Ags. The Timbersaw 1,500 saved up. Chen with 2,800. Wings are trying to push with a lot of banked gold, but with the Aegis, with how strong their 5-man is, seem unafraid.
We'll back up for the time being. It looks like he has Shadow Dance ready, and he's just going to use that passive just to get back full health for now, and they'll just keep the lanes pushed in, back to farming for themselves for a little bit, and then maybe make it go. They have Pipe now ready to go, picked up, as well as the plate mail on top of that. The gem is coming out for the Chen, who already has had such a good game. He's got Force, Mech, and now a gem flying out as well. Ice.
They want Resolution bottom. If they can hit a Blink Stomp, they have a slight chance, I would say, but more heroes are coming in. Now they're going to have a good one.
Replicate, and when it gets through, Stop will come through. He dies almost instantly, and he cannot strength morph nearly in time.
That stolen adaptive is the bane of his existence now. And Rubik is so good at this point against Morphling because the Morphling's behind. There's the stolen adaptive for long duration lockdown, and you've got so many ways to break the Lincoln Sphere. The spell steal, the zap, the lift, the adaptive. Innocence, once they get that initial jump, can keep him chain stunned for days on end. And now Wings, they have an opportunity to go high ground mod. They waste no time in doing so.
Still has plenty of tools up his belt, but it's gonna be enough. As Shadow looks for that pounce, but he finds Misery even without it.
Not sure he saw the gem there, just gets blown up, and now Wings. Power play, 5v3.
They go for the lasso, ice wall there to separate the two squads, but Faith Beyond still so tanky with that point booster, as well as the Lineage Line.
They're gonna go back.
In trouble. Adaptive strike, he would have been dead anyways. Double kill for Shadow. Buyback comes in immediately from Weehaw. Resolution is respawned, but it looks like they're about to get racked LD.
Digital Chaos, they have faced nothing but chaotic Dota from Wings, and it continues now. A big jump onto Weehaw, looking for the kill. Shadow following this one up. He's taking heavy damage. He's popping after this. Down he goes. Another takedown for Wings. DC, they might have been laughing last game. Moo wasn't afraid to all chat, but it's Wings getting the last laugh now as they crush through DC in the shadow of their own base. They rotate onto mid. Merciless Dota now, and GG, DC's last gasp in the upper bracket. They will drop down, Mod. They will drop down.
Just an impressive display coming out from this squad. I mean, you talked about Ice. Yeah, Misery might have been able to follow him a little bit more in that early stage of the game instead of going down to that bottom lane, but Ice obviously going top, finding kills, finding pickoff after pickoff, having that early mech, and yes, it's a struggle for DC. They'll have to fight through the lower bracket, but we've seen, especially in the group stage, they have potential, but Wings, they look so good moving forward here.
I love how they pick Pudge techies, they lose the game, and they immediately come back and pick another hero that has yet not been picked at TI6. They